This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I'm here with Sit Means Sit. Since 1998, this dog training system has provided basically results that show dogs the ability to maintain focus, even throughout distractions. I'm here with two of the owners here in the area here. Let's start off a little bit about you guys. The founder, he created a system here that basically has been proven, tested. His experience goes all the way back to the late 90s. He has many competition wins. He's gained the attention of the media. Why did you guys feel this was a good fit for you to be involved with?
You know, Gary, my dog needed help at a time, and I found somebody that was in the organization, so I started by helping him with the dog. And then I got hooked and started working with, his name was Dave, and it just went on from there. So the system was already well in the works and pretty well documented, considering it was fairly early on. There were only about 5 or 6 or 7 locations across the country at that time.
Excellent. John, what about yourself? Have you always been a pet lover yourself?
I've had a dog every day of my life since the moment I was born, so you know I've really been involved with dogs from the beginning. They're a lot of fun, and they're a big part of my life.
Excellent. They say that a dog is a man's best friend. This is a relationship that obviously has gone back centuries. I mean, they can actually trace it all the way back to the Ice Age. We're talking about men having dogs. Why do you think the canine is still a very popular pet for most people today?
You know, I think it's because they're so pliable. They're adaptable to so many scenarios and situations, from work to family to lifestyle choices and enjoyment. And of course, they have personalities.
Absolutely. I mean, they're basically like kids to most people, I would say. Before we talk about some of the problems or situations or issues that people deal with, this is more than just obedience training. This is really basically bringing out the best in your pet. Maybe taking a good pet and make it even better. Is that something you found as well?
It definitely is. You know, we see a lot of people, from puppies who just want to get started on the right foot to folks. We see a huge group of people that have been through other training or started things on their own, and now the dog got a little bit older, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, and suddenly it's not so cute anymore what the puppy is still doing, because now it's a dog, and they want to address that. And often that's a year to 2 or 3 year old dog. And we see plenty of people that have great dogs that want to make them even better or give them more versatility or flexibility in their lifestyle, so a lot of choices like that. And yes, we do see some pretty interesting cases where there are some big problems, and we sort of have a reputation for taking on any dog and any issues and any age, including a lot of aggression cases, and we have had a history of success with that. So, you know, the reputation somehow has been earned.
I mean, between the two of you, you guys really cover a lot of area. We're talking about here in Denver, all the way up north, quite a way bit down south. Let's talk a little bit about the programs. Are we talking about private training, group training, or a little combination of each?
You know, we do a little bit of all of it. We've definitely found that starting with private lessons, you get a better result than going directly to the group classes, because we can address issues on a one-on-one basis and you know, really address the owner's specific challenges or goals that they have in mind. I like to look at the group classes as an opportunity to put it into practice and work around other dogs and you know, slowly increase the challenges as the dogs are ready for it.
Excellent. Like you mentioned before, Anthony, basically from puppies all the way to mature dogs, small dogs, large dogs. What do you guys talk about when it's called lifetime training? What does that consist of, basically?
You know what that means, because some of us do offer that. What it means is it will start with housebreaking from an 8 or 10 week old puppy and grow them all the way through life. But the reason that some of us offer lifetime training is because, let's pretend we have a 6 or 8 month old dog and we do a handful of lessons. You know, dogs go through development phases just like we do. And of course, the families evolve, situations change. We might move, we might get a new neighbor, people have gotten married or blended households. So we often are committed to the end result with the dog, and committed to that dog for all of those life changes, committed to the family for those life changes as well. So it's a real secure feeling for folks. You know, if we hit it off, we are now your business partner in raising your dog. I tell people, you know, if you have a problem in the future, my number's on your refrigerator, and it's my problem now.
Excellent. Like you say, just like humans, we change throughout our lives, so we have to adapt to that. As far as, I mean, different locations have different services out there you guys offer. What about actual boarding these animals? Is that something that is required in some cases and not so much in others?
A lot of us offer boarding. You know, to just update you, I mean, John and I are 2 locations of over 120 now across the country. So Sit Means Sit is the largest U.S.-based dog training company in the world, you know. That's a fun thing to say. What it really speaks to is results, and that's, I think, the biggest part of all is there's results. Each individual operator or owner might make some choices around what they offer and how. Our system is just that. It's a system. So as John mentioned, we typically start out privately. Let's get you in good control before we kind of turn up the heat with other distractions. Some of us do, again, the lifetime programs. We do offer boarding. Both of us offer boarding options for the dogs. It's a very, it's a jump start to your training. You know, professional dog trainers living with your dog and taking your dog can just fast forward the process. And then the other part of it is that we have to then support those folks and dogs long term with transitioning now that training over to the family. It's a very efficient, very effective system where people recognize, you know, they have a life, they're busy, they have kids, they have a job. Our job is to train dogs. And when you hand your dog over to us, you can expect a very fast result in that respect.
I like what you said. Basically, it's a jump start in obedience for the pet owner. But a jump start, I mean, everything needs conditioning. You have to maintain this. It's important for the owners to understand what the dog's been taught so they can maintain and carry on.
And that's exactly what I call that transfer of leadership. You know, the dogs will understand the rules and the guidelines and what we're expecting. We have to obviously transfer that knowledge back to the owners. So a lot of times my Jumpstart programs or board and train options come with those lifetime private lessons so we can transfer that knowledge to you.
Many of the issues out there, I imagine not every dog owner is going to go through, but one of those is what you mentioned, housebreaking. Is this a pretty common issue, and is this something you guys tackle head on?
Well, depending on where you start, you know, every puppy's got to learn to be housebroken. So for a lot of people, that is exactly step one. Other folks rescue dogs or take over a dog in a situation where they're a little bit older. But, you know, you want to start with the right foundation, and the foundation of building some confidence with that puppy, explaining to them what's expected. You know, dogs don't naturally just go outside and go to the bathroom. They have to be taught, you know, what and where to go and what to do. And that, of course, carries over to a lot of other behaviors as well.
Speaking of foundation, the founder, the originator of this whole system, he began something which is attention-based dog training. What does that mean exactly for folks?
Well, in our case, you know, let me put it this way. When somebody says to me, Anthony, what's your philosophy about dog training here in our Denver location? I say it's real simple. Our philosophy is we're going to need our dog's attention. However smart they might be, if we don't have their attention, it doesn't matter how much they know. So from that attention, then, you can teach them the skill of controlling their impulses and energy. So our system is all based around attention and moving or channeling energy. We don't teach no, I don't teach off, I don't teach leave it, I don't teach stop, because that doesn't tell a dog what to do with their energy. I'd much rather take a more positive approach to telling them to come or to sit or to go lay down over there. And that gives us the ability to move the energy or the impulses toward a rewardable behavior that we want to repeat and develop as a habit anyway.
You treat them like a pet, not like a robot. And so basically really dealing with them and building up confidence in that way. One of the tools that you guys utilize is that of a customized collar. Tell me a little bit about that.
So we've got a proprietary remote collar that's made specifically for Sit Means Sit. It works on the idea of lower levels of stimulation, not high corrective that everybody associates with a shock collar, if you will. We use that low level of stim to get the dog's attention and focus. You know, the levels may vary in intensity based on the distractions and the environment that the dog is in, but the reality of it is it's there just to get the dog's attention, to keep their focus, just like Anthony was saying. From there, we can use the other tools, be it a leash or a treat or a toy, to help motivate the dog to reproduce a behavior over and over.
So we're talking, this is an effective tool, yet it's customizable depending on large dog, small dog, or what a dog is. Yet it's safe, not only for the dog, but for the owner as well.
You know, there's so much to talk about on that topic. It's such an interesting topic, and from our point of view, it's very simple. I started now 14, almost 15 years ago. I'm 4,000 dogs into it. The results that we've seen now with all these locations since Fred Hassan, our CEO, started the company, you know, it's just been so honed and developed and evolved. And the one growing segment of dog training is actually remote collar training. Now, we're on the forefront of that. We've been out there a long time. Again, as John said, we now have a proprietary collar with our name on it. That means that we develop the features and functions that we wanted. There were 15 or 20 of us spent 2 years messing with that thing until we got exactly what we wanted. And it's such a great topic because there's still plenty of folks that are confused or unsure about this idea of stimulation in a conversation with your dog. But when you look at it and we put it in your hand and you feel it, if you've ever used a TENS unit at a chiropractor or a physical therapist, it feels the same way. And so suddenly when people feel that, they realize, well, wait a minute, that's not a cattle prod or anything, but it's such a hot topic. So the key element is making sure that we build a bridge in understanding, giving dogs, from our point of view, we are giving direction. We're communicating. And that's what, when John mentioned the transfer of information and knowledge to the owners at the speed of transformation, you know, it says right across our website, faster, smarter, better. And the results kind of have proven that. Now, there's, again, plenty of people that, oh gosh, I'm not so sure. The only way to experience it is to find out and give it a try, or listen to our clients. When walking over here, a woman stops, she says, oh, we trained our dog with you, we're so happy with them. You know, and that's just here at the park, you know. So it's a great result that's also very transferable. My daughters have been using remotes on big, stronger dogs since they were young kids. They're only 8 and 10 now, and they can transfer that conversation from me to John to you to my children.
That is excellent. It's amazing what education can do for people. I mean, really, quite honestly, it's something you guys have dealt with, over 4,000 dogs. This is something you do day in and day out. It has been proven. It's been tested. That really should put people's minds at ease. I mean, that's one of the reasons for our show, is to educate people, really, is what is out there. Let me ask you, we have dog owners out there that maybe have a dog that is overly sensitive, maybe even a fearful dog. Is this an environment that is really non-confrontational and loving?
It definitely is. You know, the way I look at it is that in anything, you know, just like right now, there's nerves for me in an interview and all of that, but knowledge and all that gives confidence. So I look at a dog that's maybe nervous or anxious about situations. If the owner's able to convey knowledge and what they're expecting in that situation, there's no reason for the dog to be nervous. So the training itself helps build that confidence through knowledge.
So regardless of temperament, it's about building confidence with these dogs.
You know, I absolutely love working with dogs that are somewhat insecure, because it's the hardest thing for people, regular people, to deal with. You know, when you get a dog and they're bouncing around, they have energy and confidence, right? It's just like kids or employees. You know that they're going to be fine because they already have some confidence. It's the ones that don't have that confidence, that have some of that insecurity. Or anxiety, right? Anxiety at its core is insecurity. To combat insecurity, you've got to create security. So as John said then, the same words, the same expectations, the same rules, and in our case, the same communication or language allows that to be very consistent, which positions the dog to do very well. It's very non-confrontational in that way. We don't have to yell, we don't have to holler, we don't have to chase the dog, our timing is better, and when you look at other systems, they all work to a point, but there's not the degree of versatility, particularly in timing, consistency, some of the efficiency of handing. If I can't hand my 45-pound daughter a leash with a Rottweiler, but there's a video on my website of her walking a Rottweiler down the road because she's speaking the same way that I speak to him, and he understands to tune in. And again, to take an insecure dog and make things so much clearer without a lot of posture and things like that, it's a really fun thing to do, because also people need that kind of help. The more comfortable dogs are easier for people to work with. That's more obvious. They'll take a treat. They'll play with a toy. They'll take your feedback. It's the dogs that are unsure about that stuff that really stump people because they don't know what to do about it.
I like what you said. It's almost like children. I sometimes think the ones that give me the hardest issues, I feel like a professional would do better than me because I get frustrated, and you guys have done this day in and day out. You really have boiled this down to three phases. We're talking about a training, reinforcement, and maintenance. I mean, these are really critical all the way through. There's certain steps, certain milestones that have to happen throughout there. This is what really brought about the success of the Sit Means Sit.
Yep, that's exactly right, and that would be true of any system. You've got that training, you've got a reinforcement phase where you're positively reinforcing the behaviors you want to see, so the dogs are more apt to offer the behaviors, and then you have to maintain it. When people get caught up in the idea of, in our case, a collar, again, as you said earlier, Gary, and I appreciated that, it's education. Part of our job, we recognize, is educating the public to what's available, what's out there. Laser surgery is efficient with less mistakes and things like that. So people had to get used to the idea of a laser, So part of our job is educating people and allowing them to see that opportunity for a result and where those pros and cons can come from.
Absolutely. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their contact information, first of all. Basically, they pretty much cover most of the Denver area here. We've got a map on there kind of showing you some of the areas. If you're not sure, contact them, give them a call, and find out if this is a program that would work great for you, which we are sure it will. Be it a young puppy that you're bringing into the home, maybe housebreaking, or maybe you want to teach an old dog a new trick. Basically, this is something they can help you with as well. Check out the website. It's chock full of information. We're talking about links, videos, dog TV, you name it. Everything is right there with really the interests of the dog and the pet owner in mind. And this is a program that really is almost cutting edge because of the fact that it utilizes not only the customized collar, but every type of tool that you have out there. Everything from collars, leashes, toys, food, all those things that have worked throughout the ages, you really put together in a customized approach for any type of dog.
Yeah, back in the day, our founder used to call it the No Limitations Dog School, and that's really the way I look at the training. Is I don't want to put limitations on what you can or cannot do with your dog. If you can dream it, I want to make it possible.
This is really a versatile system that both of you felt very comfortable with. You basically, John says you've had a dog your whole entire life. Is it rewarding for you to basically be able to hand back a dog, which is like their kid, and it's a much better animal?
Well, I'll tell you, this is the most rewarding job I've ever had. I tell people all the time I'm blessed with what I get to do. I get to play with dogs and meet new people every single day. So.
Excellent. Anthony, your passion basically comes through definitely on educating people out there, really educating them on what you're doing, how they're doing it. You probably have a very open door policy for people to come on in and ask questions.
My cell phone is the first thing listed on my card, for a reason. People pay to have access to us, and to be very open and honest with you, our CEO, every one of us has his phone number. He's on chat groups and things like that. He is the most out there guy I've ever seen with his cell phone number as well. And so, earlier you asked about the Sit Means Sit system and what attracted me. I got in because I had an opportunity. I needed some help with the dog, but boy, I chose it and stuck with it and still do, and yeah, you're right, very passionate about it because of the support of all these other trainers, because of the support of our CEO and our president, and it's a great network that we can work with these other folks. And, the trainers come from all different types of backgrounds, from neuroscience, and I don't even know the right words because I'm not that smart, to people without any dog training at all, and a lot of backgrounds, including police officers and things like that. So it's a great opportunity to really work with great people and have a lot of resources internally. And I believe that's really what's forwarded and sped up our success across the country.
So regardless of the expertise, we're talking about a love of dogs is paramount. It's the main thing that is out there. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. We're going to show you one more time. That is Sit Means Sit dog training, located right here in Denver, Colorado. Be able to serve the entire area here. Check them out on the website. This is the largest dog franchise training out there. We're talking over 120 locations to serve you. We sat down with a couple of gentlemen here, and really, I'm sure you felt the passion they have for basically the love of your animal as well. That is Sit Means Sit dog training. And sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids. but we do train dogs. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.